Hello everyone. Have you ever watched Apple events?
Never.
It not only shows many fascinating 3C products, and you can see many creativities inside the video. And this is when Apple first introduced the iPhone 15. But do you know one fun fact is that this video is also shot on iPhone?
Ooh.
And yes, as technology advanced, more and more cell phone companies started to emphasize their camera spec. And there's no denying that it's hard for us to tell whether this photo is taken by a professional camera or a cell phone. But since we have these skills, how to make use of them? So today, I'm going to talk about how to take photos with your phones.
Ooh, good.
My presentation will be divided into 3 parts. First, I'll talk about some basic knowledge about exposure, followed by the laws of composition. Finally, I'll end up with some tricks to improve the skills. Let's begin with the exposure, which can make the result different a lot. It consists of 3 parts: ISO, shutter speed, and aperture. But how to change these settings in your phones? For Android users, you can just enter the Pro mode in the camera app. And for iOS users, you have to use third-party app to access these settings. For ISO, you can imagine that you are turning off the light before going to bed. At first, you can't see anything, but then your eyes started to adjust, and then you can see something not very clear. Same to the camera. If we set the ISO value at low value like 50 or 100, it won't be so sensitive to the light. So you can take this kind of photo at a bright place. Now, I turn off the light, and then I have to increase the ISO value, and you can see something not very clear with the grain and noise, which means that the quality of the photo will be lowered. The second one is shutter speed. It means how long the shutter open and then close. If I use as a faster shutter speed, like 1 per 1000 seconds, the result is look like freezing the moment, like the water splashing or a train running fast. If I lower down the shutter speed, it can create an effect called motion blur, like the light trail or panning. The third one is aperture. Well, this cannot be adjusted in your phone, but I'll give some short introduction. Aperture is just like the pupil in our eyes. If we use a larger aperture, it means that more lights will come into the lens, and then only the object that you want to focus will be sharp. The others will be fuzzy, which we call it bokeh effect. If I make the aperture smaller, fewer lights will come into the lens. Also, all the objects in the scene can be sharp. So it is suitable when you want to take photos like landscape. In addition to the exposure, there's one more thing that I consider it important. That is focus. For most of the time, if the object is out of focus, what we will do is to tap the object and then make it refocus. But sometimes this doesn't work. For example, when we want to take photo of the moon, it is often out of focus. Then we have to switch it into the manual mode. Here, you can see a bar for you to scroll. In the left part, it means to focus on the near thing, like the keyboard on the computer. And as I push it to the left, it means to focus on the farther things. So you can see that the word on the computer screen become more clear. After you have some basic knowledge about the settings, I'm going to talk about composition for you to follow and practice. The first one is rule of third. This technique can be used in most of the cases. But first, remember to turn on the GERD for you to practice. And then you can place the object on these lines, and especially where they meet. Since our eyes are tend to be drawn and focused on these spots. For example, when you want to take photos of a landscape, you can place the horizon on these lines. And when you want to take photos of a specific object or person, you can place it on these spots. Then the next one is leading lines. We have to use lines like roads, fences, walls, or rivers that can guide viewers' attention and then deeper into the scene, which makes more aesthetics into the photos. The third one is framing within your frame. This not only can draw viewers' attention easier, but also add more layers to the photo, making it look like more three-dimensional. To sum up, these three laws, I can conclude that you have to find a subject first, and then use guidance to make viewers' attention to this subject. Finally, I'm going to provide some of the extra tips. The first one we have to pay attention is the camera angles. For most of the time, we tend to take the camera as high as our eyes are. But the result may look like normal because it is just like what we see in our daily life. In order to create some different or creative perspective, we can try to lower down our camera or being close to the subject. These photos look better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, light is a crucial part in photography. Before the color camera was common, people have to use the lights and lines to interpret these black and white photos. Also, the lights can interact and then give more details to your object. In my opinion, I like to take photo in the early morning or late afternoon because it can create more shadows and add more colors to my photos. After my introduction, do you have more knowledge about what photography is? But the key to the great photography skill is not just have the best equipment. It's about how you see the world and how you make use of the tools available to you. So keep practicing, experimenting, and most important, enjoy the process, you capture the moments. That's all from me today. Thank you.